Every time I see her demanding to be called Duchess of Sussex, I laugh. Nobody in Britain calls her that. Meghan Markle, she got lucky, met her prince, dragged him out of the bosom of his family, dragged him away from the monarchy.
January 2026, and Piers Morgan completely exploded on live TV. The same man who lost his Good Morning Britain job because he refused to back down over Meghan Markle is back again. This time he came fully loaded. Meghan just released her Netflix cooking series with Love, Meghan, and the photos, clips, and overall production gave Piers everything he needed. On Piers Morgan Uncensored, he tore the show apart scene by scene, and it wasn't gentle. He couldn't even last 10 minutes before switching it off. He called it unwatchable. He branded it a pure vanity project. He exposed every fake smile, every stage shot, and every carefully planned image Meghan tried to sell to viewers. What makes this even more explosive is this: Piers isn't just another critic. He knew Meghan personally before she dropped him for Harry. He understands how she works. So when he says these images reveal who Meghan really is, people listen. Buckle up, because what Piers exposed on live TV could permanently damage Meghan's carefully built image, and FameX is breaking it all down.
Because I had to leave my show, Good Morning Britain, you may remember, for casting doubt over the allegations of racism and the denial of treatment for mental health issues that Meghan Markle said she was denied by Buckingham Palace. Interestingly, in his 420-word page or so book, his own story.
Let me explain exactly what went down on Piers Morgan Uncensored. The moment Meghan's Netflix show launched, Piers said he felt he had to watch it, not out of interest, but because he expected it to be comedy gold. On air, Piers admitted, "I tried watching it, and after about 3 or 4 minutes I gave up. It was unbearable." 3 to 4 minutes was all he could handle. In another clip, he later said he pushed himself to 10 minutes. Either way, he couldn't survive even one full episode. That alone tells you everything about the quality of the show. Piers described it as the ultimate vanity project where everyone exists only to praise Meghan. She praises herself. Every frame is designed to worship her. Every guest is there just to flatter her.
What did you make of that, Jordan, to be suddenly appearing on Meghan Markle's podcast as a villain?
The first
who was
thing I make
calling
of it
women crazy
is that
Think about that for a moment. A cooking show that barely focuses on food and instead focuses on how amazing Meghan supposedly is. How creative she is, how talented she is. It doesn't teach viewers anything useful. It's all about selling the Meghan brand. And Piers saw straight through it because he knows her. He's watched how she moves. He understands her strategy better than most people. Now let's talk about the specific photos and footage Piers completely destroyed on live television, because this is where things really get uncomfortable for Meghan. First, the house. Meghan filmed the entire show in what she presents as her stunning Montecito home. But Piers exposed the truth. It's not her house at all. She borrowed someone else's luxury estate for filming. Think about how fake that is. She's selling authenticity. She's selling with love from my home. But it isn't her home. It's a borrowed mansion she's pretending belongs to her.
There they are. They're straight there. And I'm afraid I'm very cynical. I think it's purely for PR. It's purely for self-promotional reasons. They just want to be seen to be a rival royal family who are doing what the royals do, but they're not royals anymore. They don't do anything to earn the title.
The photos show Meghan standing in a beautiful kitchen filled with high-end equipment, perfectly lit from every angle. And Piers immediately called it out. It's not even her property. She's doing simple things like making coffee or baking a basic cake. Making coffee, that's what she's teaching people. And she presents it like she's reinventing hospitality. Piers also mocked the flower arranging scenes. Images of Meghan gently placing flowers into vases as if she invented the idea, treating basic hosting skills like deep wisdom. You see the pattern? Every image is designed to make Meghan look gifted, stylish, and impressive. But in reality, she's doing the most ordinary tasks and acting like they're special just because she's doing them. And here's where Piers really went for the jugular. This moment perfectly sums up who Meghan really is. During the show, her friend Mindy Kaling makes a harmless remark. She says, "People wouldn't believe Meghan Markle ate Jack in the Box."
And if it means I leave a show that I love, that's on fire and doing great in the ratings, so be it. And I've never regretted that, because actually sometimes in life you've got to stand up for what you believe in and don't let other people try and bully you in the way that I was. Meghan Markle wrote to the boss of the network.
I know.
Sounds innocent, right? Wrong. Meghan instantly corrects her. She responds, "It's funny that you keep saying Meghan Markle. You know I'm Sussex now, Sussex." She insists her friend use her royal title instead of her actual name. Piers absolutely ripped this moment apart on his show. He pointed out, "I come from Sussex in England. It's a county with millions of people living there." He was highlighting how ridiculous it is for someone to want to be called by a place name. But here's the real issue. Meghan and Harry left royal life, didn't they? They claimed they hated the institution, they wanted privacy, they wanted normal lives, yet here she is on her Netflix show demanding to be addressed by her royal title, not Meghan, Sussex. She wants that title. She needs that title because without it, she's just an actress who got lucky.
Meghan Markle has renewed her bitter feud with Piers Morgan. So you'll remember the pair have been at war after Meghan ghosted the ITV host who she had sparked a friendship with in London.
That contradiction, that hypocrisy was exposed perfectly by Piers, and the cameras captured it forever. Meghan's facial expression when she corrects Mindy says it all. That flash of irritation when someone dared to call her by her birth name. It reveals everything. Now let me explain why Piers Morgan's criticism carries more weight than most. This isn't a random journalist taking shots at a celebrity. This is personal. Piers met Meghan back in 2016. They connected through Twitter. She messaged him first saying she was a fan. They talked regularly. Messages went back and forth.
I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in the right to be allowed to have an opinion. If people want to believe Meghan Markle, that's entirely their right. I don't believe almost anything that comes out of her mouth.
What Piers believed was a real friendship began to form. Eventually they met in person at a London pub. Piers has described it clearly. They spent 2 hours together. She drank dirty martinis and pints. They got along extremely well, but here's where things change. That same evening, Piers helped Meghan into a cab. That cab took her to a party where she met Prince Harry. They had dinner the following night, and after that, Piers never heard from Meghan Markle again. She completely ghosted him. The moment she gained access to a prince, Piers became irrelevant. She cut him off without explanation. Piers admitted, "I really liked her. That's why it hurt." He later said he believed she was, sadly, a social climber.
Meghan Markle has renewed her bitter feud with Piers Morgan. So you'll remember the pair have been at war after Meghan ghosted the ITV host who she had sparked a friendship with in London, and she ghosted him the moment she met Prince Harry.
So when Piers tears apart Meghan's Netflix show, when he exposes the fake images and calculated scenes, he isn't just reviewing content. He's speaking as someone who experienced her behavior firsthand. Someone who saw how she uses people and discards them when they're no longer useful. That's why his criticism cuts deep. That's why Meghan can't brush it off as random hate. Piers knows how she operates. He saw behind the curtain early. Now let's return to what he exposed about this Netflix disaster. Calling it a vanity project isn't just an insult. It's accurate. The entire show exists for one reason: to sell the Meghan Markle brand, or rather the Sussex brand. Every episode is designed to make her look perfect. Piers summed it up perfectly when he said it's all about people praising Meghan and Meghan praising herself. The Netflix photos show her laughing with celebrity friends, arranging flowers, and cooking food. But look closer, every shot is perfectly lit, every angle carefully planned, her makeup flawless in every frame.
I guess, by the way, is going to celebrate the joys of cooking, or at least something she's doing. Her Netflix show, I guess, is going to celebrate the joys of cooking, gardening, entertaining, and friendship, Piers. She's going to be teaching us how to be a good friend.
Well, it's one of the many friends that she cut off.
These aren't natural moments. They're professional photo shoots pretending to be reality. Piers spotted that instantly because he knows what genuine looks like. This isn't it. Real cooking shows get messy, chefs make mistakes, things go wrong, viewers actually learn something. Meghan's show is the opposite. It's Instagram-filtered fantasy. Everything looks effortless while being heavily staged. Now here's context that makes Piers' latest attack even more powerful. He literally lost his job at Good Morning Britain because he refused to back down on... In March 2021, Meghan and Harry did their Opera interview. Meghan claimed she was suicidal. She claimed the royal family was racist.
Harry has never met his father-in-law to this day. He's not allowed Thomas Markle to meet his grandkids. And yet the first sign of any disaster, mass shooting, any opportunity where they can go and pretend to be comforters in chief when they're not even asked for or required or needed, there they are. They're straight there.
The next morning, Piers went on GMB and said, "I don't believe a word Meghan Markle said. I wouldn't believe her if she read me the weather." Over 58,000 complaints flooded in. Meghan herself complained to ITV. The pressure became intense. His co-host Alex Beresford confronted him on air, saying, "You keep attacking her because she cut you off." Piers snapped. He walked off set mid-show and said, "I'm done with this."
No.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
Do you know what? That's pathetic.
You can track him, maybe not mine.
No.
See you later.
I'm being...
Sorry, can't do
This is
this.
absolutely diabolical behaviour. I'm sorry, but Piers spouts off on a regular basis, and we all have to sit there and listen. 6:30 to 7 o'clock yesterday was incredibly hard to watch.
Later that same day, Piers quit Good Morning Britain. His ITV career ended because he refused to apologize for doubting Meghan. Eventually, Ofcom cleared him and ruled that he hadn't broken any rules. His opinion was protected speech, but by then the damage was done. That's why when Piers attacks Meghan's Netflix show now, when he exposes the fake photos and staged scenes, it matters. He already sacrificed his career by refusing to lie about her. That makes his criticism extremely hard to dismiss. Let me explain what Piers revealed in these Netflix images that many people miss. If you don't know what to look for, you might think it's just a pleasant cooking show.
When they have no connection now with any of their family, or one or two people, I find it very hard to believe that makes anybody happy. So it's at one level it's sad. Another level, it makes me quite angry, the damage they've caused to the monarchy. I think most British people are sick and tired of them. The polling has them now below Prince Andrew, which I didn't think would be humanly possible.
First, the borrowed mansion. Every image screams wealth and luxury. The beautiful Montecito estate Meghan presents as her everyday home, but it is. She borrowed it just for filming. Why does that matter? Because her entire brand is built on authenticity. She claims she's showing her real life, her real home, but it's all borrowed and staged. Second, the professional styling. Look closely. Her hair and makeup are flawless in every scene, outfits carefully matched, lighting perfectly set. This isn't casual home cooking, it's a full production with stylists and crews. Third, the staging. Every flower arrangement looks perfect, every ingredient placed just right, every surface spotless. Real cooking doesn't look like that. Real kitchens get messy, real people mess up. But Meghan can't show that because it would ruin the illusion.
My being here, my work. When my notion. See, I remember I went, so off I went. I wrote a letter. I wanted to cover all my base. I realized the magnitude of so I did. I was just the magnitude.
Piers noticed all of it. Every fake beat, every calculated angle, every staged image, and he exposed it on live television for millions to see. What makes his criticism even more damaging is that he predicted all of this years ago. Back when most people thought Meghan was wonderful, Piers warned everyone. He called her a social climber in 2016. People attacked him for it. They said he was bitter and jealous. But look at what happened next. Meghan married Harry. Cut off her family, cut off friends, drove a wedge between Harry and William, left the royal family, moved to California, and began selling herself as a brand.
Meghan Sussex appears to have served up a helping of subtle shade, getting a jar of her new as-ever jam to a rather unexpected recipient, ITV weather presenter Alex Beresford. The gesture has been widely interpreted as a pointed, if understated, response to longtime critic Piers Morgan. Mr. Morgan, the former Good Morning Britain host, has been openly hostile towards the Duchess for years.
Everything Piers predicted came true. The climbing, the using of people, the calculated decisions, choosing fame and money over relationships. He saw it long before others did. So when he looks at these Netflix photos and calls them fake, when he labels the show a vanity project, when he says it's unwatchable trash, he isn't being cruel. He's being proven right again. Some might say, so what if Piers hates her cooking show? But it actually matters. Piers Morgan has a massive audience. Millions watch his show, millions follow him online, and he didn't give a mild review. He said he couldn't even finish it. He said it was self-worship. That's damaging. Netflix reportedly paid Meghan and Harry $100 million for content. This show is part of that deal. If it flops, if people don't watch, if reviews are bad, it impacts their entire Netflix partnership.
Which is incredibly sad. And now she's wrestled Harry away from his family. So how happy they really are in this mansion in California when they have no connection now with any of their family, or one or two people, I find it very hard to believe that makes anybody happy. So it's at one level it's sad. Another level, it makes me quite angry, the damage they've caused to the monarchy.
Piers' brutal takedown shapes public opinion. Someone might have been curious enough to watch. But if Piers Morgan, someone who knew Meghan personally, says he couldn't last 10 minutes, many will skip it. This is exactly what Meghan feared. Someone credible exposing how fake everything is. Someone she can't dismiss as a random troll because he has first-hand experience. Here's another important detail. The photos Piers mocked are official Netflix promotional images. These were carefully chosen by Meghan and her team to sell the show.
Meghan is a trained actress. What she does is that she studies people. She's not a good actress, but she is a trained one, right? She's been doing it her entire life. And there was no doubt that she studied Princess Diana. She studied her mannerisms towards Harry when he was a boy and the way that she grabs her face. And this is the psychopathic elements of what she does, putting a pregnancy text next to Princess Diana's hair, saying that she put her hands on the grave to have a conversation with her, bursting into tears.
But Piers saw right through them. He saw artificiality. He saw performance. He saw someone desperately trying to appear relatable while filming in a borrowed mansion with professional crews. The photo of Meghan making coffee. Piers saw someone turning a basic task into fake depth. The flower photos, style over substance. The celebrity friend photos, name-dropping disguised as friendship. Every single promotional image was dismantled by Piers' analysis. And once you hear it, you can't unsee it. Those photos never look the same again. So what happens now? Piers just delivered his harshest Meghan takedown yet on live television. He labeled the show unwatchable. He exposed the fake imagery. Meghan now has two choices: respond or stay silent. If she responds, she feeds the drama and proves it bothers her.
For having me. Let's talk about the Dove Self-Esteem Project. You were here speaking to a group of people last night, especially young people. What is it that you have to say that they should really listen to?
You know, when Dove reached out to me, it was so, as I was saying to you, it's just so easy for me to jump on board with this because their whole campaign right now for self-esteem is inspiring confidence in young women.
If she stays quiet, the criticism goes unanswered. Millions heard Piers call the show unwatchable. Millions heard him expose the staging. That damages her brand either way. Piers wins regardless. He's positioned himself as the one person willing to say what others won't. And here's what really worries Meghan. Piers isn't going anywhere. He now has total freedom on YouTube. No executives, no filters. That means every time Meghan releases something new, Piers will be there to tear it apart. Every photo, every project, every interview, he has become her permanent critic. Let me end with this. People say Piers Morgan is obsessed with Meghan Markle, and honestly, they may be right. He can't let it go.
I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in the right to be allowed to have an opinion. If people want to believe Meghan Markle, that's entirely their right. I don't believe almost anything that comes out of her mouth, and I think the damage she's done to the British monarchy and to the Queen at a time when Prince Philip is lying in hospital is enormous and frankly contemptible.
But here's the problem. Everything he said turned out to be true. She did climb socially. She did use people. She did cut off anyone who couldn't advance her status. She did maneuver her way into the royal family. She did damage Harry's relationships. Piers saw it coming. And now with these Netflix photos and this failed cooking show, he has more proof than ever. The images show desperation. The show shows emptiness. And Piers exposed it all on live television with brutal honesty. The real question is whether Meghan will recover. She probably will. The question is whether anyone will ever believe her authenticity again after someone who knew her personally couldn't even watch 10 minutes of her being herself. Piers went nuclear. He shattered the illusion. And Meghan's carefully built image may never fully recover after someone who knows her truth told the world.